because it's time for us. I had something. It was about to be crazy. That's too far. It's time for us to do our mock draft. So I'm going to just go with that one. How about that? Who we starting off with here, Joe? The TWCB mock draft. The Windy City Breeze mock draft. Who we starting off with here, Joel? Whose mock is on the screen first? Hey, yo.
Let's do. We'll go with Pat.
I landed the M.
Whoop. We'll go with Pat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the mock here, ladies and gentlemen. I got Caleb Williams in one. Shocker. But everybody killed me for going offensive line in my Chicago Bears podcast mock draft. Everybody killed me for going heavy offensive line in my Chicago Bears podcast mock draft. So I went the other direction. I said, F it, let's move up. Let's go solidify this offense. Let's go get us another weapon. What did it cost me? It cost me 9, and it cost me the Panthers pick next year. And according to how people say generational talent, I have 2 generational talents based on their thoughts. I went out and got Marvin Harrison Jr. 4 with the Cardinals, which I actually think could be a move that the Cardinals would be interested in making unless somebody wants to move up heavily because they have a lot more pieces to add. Not to say they wouldn't want Marvin Harrison Jr., but I do believe that their mindset is we need to add some draft capital in this draft, or at least draft capital in the future. We don't have a ton of it here. So I would not be mad at seeing them go here. And if the Bears can move up to 4, now you're giving up that second round pick next year. But if I believe in Caleb Williams and I believe in everything that Caleb Williams can be, guess what? That means that I believe that Caleb Williams should have the best wide receiver. Let me get him. And I see Lord Crimson. Great job, Pat. Ryan Pace would be so proud. Well, I still have my full draft next season. I still have everything in the draft next year. You know what I mean? So what am I really missing out on? I gave up 9 to go get Marvin Harrison Jr. And it's not like I didn't address other positions. I'm also going to get the edge rusher out of UCLA. Big boy out here, Gabriel Murphy. Love what Gabriel Murphy brings to the table. As a pass rusher, I think he is a much better pass rusher. 6'3", 260 pounds, quick off of the edge, able to get downhill out of UCLA. Think you do a lot of good things there at 75, standing pat there. And then solid run defense guy. Maybe going to need probably where he's going to need his most improvement there, but I would love to see the Bears go out and get that. And then I'm closing it out with a interesting offensive line move here. Instead of going tackle here at 122, I end up going guard here because I got a lot of questions on the guard position. And my dream, boys, is for the Chicago Bears. I guess maybe not my dream, but at some point to say, Nate Davis is good, but we can be better there. Move Tevin Jenkins back to the right side because that was great. That was amazing. That was something that was truly a thing of beauty. And you go get Cooper Bibe out of
BB. I would say BB.
BB? Is that BB? BB? I thought it was Bibe.
BB.
You might be right on that, actually. I've heard it both ways, but out of Kansas State, Wildcat, 6'4", 335 pounds, moves the feet well. This guy's a monster in the pass blocking game. He is literally somebody who, if you know that you're going to go out there and try to move some guys on the other side, you want him on your side. And then run blocking, I mean, listen, Bears are an outside zone team, but if at any point you want to go power on this, if you want to have Roshan just kind of attack this thing up the middle, this guy is a greater when you stand in front of him. I think that you do a lot of good things well here. You address the edge, you address the offensive line. Yes, these are later picks, but these are later picks to me that actually can make an impact because you've already got people in place that are already talented there. What are your thoughts on my mock, boys?
Hey, man, that's a nice mock, man. Like,
I don't need another receiver, dog. I'm sorry.
You and this receiver hate in the first round is the wildest thing in the world to me.
I just don't feel like
Keenan Allen is not going to be here for 5 years.
I didn't say 5 years. I didn't say anything about that, but he's here next year. My thing is I want the offensive line and the defensive line addressed, and I want my defense fixed all the way. So, I mean, I mean, it's cool because on one hand, you're going to have an explosive offense with Marvin Harrison Jr., with Keenan Allen, with what you call it. Now it's just a lot of pressure to put on Caleb Williams as a rookie because you're going to expect someone's got to get. That's a lot of passing.
How that it's going to be a lot of passing, Joe.
A lot of passing.
Joe, I hate to tell you this. No matter what happens, we're not running the football, dog.
It's not about that.
Ringo
it's
game plan.
We're talking about a rookie quarterback expecting so much. I just don't want. It's cool if he can throw the ball and give us 3,500, 4,000 yards passing. Great, but all I'm saying is that. If I would rather have my quarterback have time to throw the ball, and I'd rather have my defense where we can actually stop some opponents and have a shorter field starting point.
With that, so then y'all expectation is that none of the moves we made this year pan out on the offensive line.
Don't say y'all.
I don't know if
I'm just saying, because the same thing we can say about Keenan Allen, not Keenan Allen, much more proven, very different, but like the same thing that we can say about Keenan Allen this year, the same thing we can say about the 7 offensive linemen we signed.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just good pieces and they're shuffling to figure out who works. So to me, that means they're staying with Braxton Jones. That means that maybe
you are staying with Braxton Jones probably in that situation,
right? So it's like if you do that, that means we're rolling with the offensive line that's in place. Hopefully the center is fixed, but how old is that center that we got?
27.
27. So you got a few
young guy.
He's young enough. Yeah, no.
And Coleman Shelton's 30.
Well, I'm not saying draft a center. I'm saying that as long as my tackles are fixed or my defensive line, because the whole point is we didn't sign anybody to offset that other to play somebody off of Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
So either you're going to re-sign your boy Yannick, right? Because other than that,
a possibility.
Yeah. Or you're talking about maybe a developmental player later in the first. I mean, now because you're Gabriel Murphy, I don't know if that's a starter in the 3rd round.
Gabriel Murphy, hold on. Gabriel Murphy last year, I'm trying to get these sack numbers here. 8 sacks last year, 13 hits, 40 hurries, had 1 batted pass, 210 snaps on the run side, 355 snaps on the pass side, played 575 plays last year in total in 13 games. Hasn't missed a game in college yet.
I mean, that
sounds like a starter.
I don't know.
He's also the guy who was opposite Latu Latu.
I mean,
so he's already used to being opposite.
Bro,
you can think
he's already used to being opposite.
He could be. I don't know. It could be an Alex Brown situation where he was drafted in the 4th round and he worked his way into the starting rotation. That would be great if you can get that type of production in the 3rd round. Cool.
And by the way, Lord Crimson says, so we bought a running back for nothing. No, you bought a running back who finished top 5, I believe, in pass catch percentage last year. That's what you bought. Yeah. They're not running.
And,
they had 2 running backs, 2 really good running backs in Seattle.
Yeah.
Guess what they running game ranked? 28th. They're not running the football
because
boys.
The offensive line wasn't that great.
The offensive line was a really good run blocking offensive line. When they ran the football, they were running the football at about 5.5 yards per carry.
I disagree with that line. The whole issue is we had a bad center. We had shoddy play. To a degree, we had a lot of guys in and out, and they did a lot of shuffling. I don't think that this line was that good. We got a lot
for run blocking. It wasn't great in pass pro.
But I'm just saying, I would like, if we're going to start having our quarterback throwing the ball, I'd like to see an upgrade where the bookends are at least solid pass blockers.
I agree with you. Listen, but I think there's only one that we're worried about, and it's the one on the left side. Is Braxton Jones. Right, I'm not worried about Darnell Wright heading into next season.
I'm not worried about Tevin or Darnell Wright. Those are good, but I am worried if our center is fixed.
I'm worried about Tevin,
and Nate
that's
Davis.
The other reason I'm drafting a guard as well. I'm worried about Tevin. Tevin's amazing. But
let's get to the other ones because unless we're going a little bit longer.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's keep it going. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Let's pull up.
Who else we got?
Ringo's picks.
We got Ringo's mock on the screen, dude.
Yes, sir.
Whoop. There we go, Ringo.
All right, so my mock, obviously the Bears are gonna take Caleb one. I traded the 9th pick, went down to 12. Jared Verse was still there, which I like that. So now that fixes Jones, we need somebody to go opposite Montez Sweat. Issue that pretty much would complete the defense for me at that point. So that'll round that out because I feel like the Bears already got a lot of offensive weapons. So I'm with Joe. They kind of do need to complete the defense. Making the Jared Verse pick would absolutely do that. I traded I think that's the
75th pick.
75th pick. Went down to 83. Got my guy that I had previous on the sleepers, Jaden Hicks, at the safety to, possibly, like I said, that was going to be the replacement possibly for Kevin Byard. He's going to help that out. I would like the combination of him and Jaquan Brisker to go together because he's very instinctive, very good on the ball as well. So when I did that, I also actually wound up getting Denver's 2025 first, and I also wound up getting the Los Angeles Rams 2025 third. And then at the 122, I got Mason McCormick, who I got him possibly taking over Tevin Jenkins' spot because we don't know if he's gonna finish the season realistically. So, but just doing a deep dive into his numbers, 6'4", 309, 6'4", 309, which is something that I like. As of 2019, when he stepped into that starting role, he's only given up a total of 3 sacks since he was playing at left guard, which is something that I absolutely love, and that's something that you're gonna need. So I mean, I feel like that kind of fits what the Bears actually needed, and that definitely gives you picks for next year.
A lot of question marks on Tevin on the panel right now. I'm not mad at it. Like, I love Tevin, but
bro, 6'4", 309.
I mean,
that's not bad.
I'm not worried about that. I just my problem with Tevin is just like
really good pass block as well.
I'm gonna be real with you. Is Tevin on the roster at the end of the year?
Maybe not.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
Because you got to resign him.
Well, I'm looking at. So you go from 9 down to 12 to pick up a first rounder for next year.
And you get Verse,
and then you move out of 75 to 83 to get a third for next year. So my only issue would be you address the defensive end. We got the quarterback, and then we got a guard, and then you picked another safety. So because
Byard's on a 1-year deal.
Byard's on a 2.
I thought it was a 2-year deal.
Byard's on a 2-year.
2-year.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. I mean, if the guard is good, I mean, 4th rounder, he's a developmental player, that could work.
See, here's the one thing I always say: why would Denver do this though?
Right.
That's the one thing about mock drafts that you don't know. The computer's doing what they do. Why would Denver give you 2 first rounders for 9?
Yeah.
Who was on the board that they took at 9?
It was probably JJ or somebody.
Oh, it was it was JJ. It was JJ.
JJ.
And Peyton needs his quarterback.
See, that's
he needs his quarterback.
Agreed. Peyton needs his quarterback. I guess that's why Ryan posed to sell it, because at that point, if I get the 9, I know the Bears aren't taking a quarterback. So I'd call 10. I wouldn't call 9. That's why I say why would. And this is why listen.
I got you.
I asked it on my mock draft, the one I did with Carolina on that mug. Yeah. Everybody was like, "Do you think Carolina will give up their 2nd round pick for 2 second rounds next year?" I said, "I don't think Carolina will ever trade with us again." But I think that. I mean, but I think that PFF thinks that. So if I can do it on the mock, I'm gonna do it on the mock.
Yeah.
What's yours, Joel?
So mine was
nice mock, Joe.
Well, thank you.
Jesus, dog. Hey. You get all these picks from?
I traded the 9th and the 2nd round. I guess our 2nd round pick for next year.
Yeah, we did. We both did the same thing.
So I went with the Raiders, and I got their 1st, their 2nd. I got a 4th and a 5th. So I took Caleb 1. I took Jared Verse at 13.
Right.
And then I got a starting tackle, Kieran Amageji at in the 2nd round, and I got Cedric Van Pran as our developmental center, and then I got Mohamed Kamara as my Dwight Freeney, and then Javon Foster, based off of the passing and some of his ratings, for the 4th round, I grabbed him, and then I got Caleb's boy Taj Washington in the 5th. And so, based off of that,
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it.
The way the draft worked out, you got. I'm sorry, I had to flip that. Sorry. Oh.
Joel's working by himself back there. He's doing a lot of jobs right now. Give him a second.
Whoop. So they took JJ at 9, and that meant that where's Denver at? Denver.
Oh, the Raiders take JJ in that situation. Raiders is an interesting one. I don't know if they'll give you that much, but they're interesting.
Yeah. So Dallas Turner goes at 8, JJ at 9,
Bowers
10. At 10.
We don't
Yeah,
take a quarterback.
the Broncos take.
Oh wait, I just peeped that.
Tackle.
The Giants take Malik Neighbors and nobody else.
They give Danny Dimes a person or got to throw to.
Hey man, Danny Dimes or my favorite, little Tommy Cutlet action.
Hey,
they got the cutlets.
Yo,
Big on Tommy
I just feel like if
I'm not mad at the mock
because
nice
now that I got a second round and picked up another 4th rounder, you've addressed a lot of. You still address the line for the future. You got a defensive end out there you can plug right away because that Jared Verse, I mean, that's a bull rush dude. Like he's a problem. He's a prototypical defensive end.
Jared Verse a dog.
Jared Verse a dog.
That's a dog. That's 11 sacks. I think he had last year and 8 or 13. Like that's a dog right there.
I think my question is again. I ask you the same question. Why did the Raiders make this deal?
They want a quarterback.
Why would they call you?
Because they want to go from 9 they want to move up from 13 to 9.
There's 2 teams ahead of them, or at least
they
one
got to
team.
jump.
There's one team ahead of them that is less that doesn't need a quarterback right now.
But
Denver.
I guess the Jets are 10.
By the way, you said the Jets was at 10. The Jets is trying to win now, so they're not even thinking about getting the quarterback.
I mean, the Jets got the talent on their team already to win now, though.
But
adding a rookie this year isn't going to make a major
They're
difference.
trying to fix their line. So my whole thought process is like even going back to my in on Joe is like they're gonna get a.
But if the Jets,
our offensive lineman,
but in your scenario, the Jets would have to trade back with Denver because Denver was the team that moved up, right? So they trade back with Denver. Olu Fashanu. That's helping your line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's just like why would the Raiders make this deal in this situation? Why would the Raiders why would they call you give up the 4 versus calling the Jets and saying we'll give you less, but I don't think the Bears would be the first call. Here's my thing. If the Bears take a quarterback, to me, the Bears wouldn't be the first call. Mm-hmm. Now, you do got to jump the Vikings and the Broncos.
I think the Vikings.
So if the Jets are like, no, you can't have our pick, then that's a different situation.
I think that the Minnesota is going to move up to damn near 4. And a lot of that's going to shift on down, looking at that board right there. And so now that makes
Minnesota's going to move up to 4?
If you got 2 number 1 picks, you can go from
up to 4,
11 to 23. They're going to take JJ McCarthy or somebody.
Dog, yeah, this.
I hope so. I hope so.
I would crack up if they moved up to 4.
That would be amazing.
You're giving up 2 first-round picks for JJ McCarthy?
Quarterbacks,
you better be right.
Gold.
You better be right.
Hey, who cares? As long as they drop.
No, but
you should care.
It's not who cares. The reason I'm saying that is because there has to be logic in why you would do it.
Yeah.
A GM giving up 2 first-round picks for JJ McCarthy, who's a maybe.
To somebody else, they may think that he's the guy that fits their system.
But that's what I'm saying. You better know.
But Joe, if you look at it though, right? Let's just think about it from the scenario that you just stated. The last 3 quarterbacks that got moved up for, you talking about Mitch, Trey Lance, and now in that case, what it would be JJ.
I mean, are we talking about all of them? I mean, they moved up for Pat Mahomes technically.
But that's Pat Mahomes. Like you moved.
Nobody knew he was Pat Mahomes when he moved up.
That's true. That's true. But at the same time, it's like, yo,
I guess nobody knows it's JJ until you figure it out.
You moved basically like all the way up to essentially get Mitch when you had those pieces on the board. You moved up to get Trey Lance.
Yeah,
didn't work. He has to be short because if he's not, guess what? You're fired.
Well, I mean, or you get the last pick in the draft right and keep building the rest of the team.
That's not our problem. It doesn't. I don't care.
But it's our problem because it's trying to make logic of it.
Yeah, but
why would they give up 2 first-rounders to move to 4?
That's
when I can give you less than that because JJ McCarthy's probably going to make it past
doesn't fall. My point is, someone's got to fall in love. I'm just saying, Minnesota's probably going to move up to get a quarterback. Why wouldn't they?
Because you can get Bo Nix at 11 and or 23.
They may not like Bo Nix. They might like JJ.
I mean, I think that would be why you take him at 23. listen, I gotta love you to move to 4.
It's all hypothetical.
I can like you and take you at 23.
But my point is that it just like this is all hypothetical, right? I trade the 9th pick to go down to 13. It can happen. I mean, Poles traded 9 to go to 10 and picked up an extra 4th rounder and what have you. Like it can happen. Some people want to protect that pick, or they want to jump ahead of someone else because they got wind that, hey, they might go for this one player.
But that's my point. I don't know, right? Like, is that the Raiders? And it might be.
It could.
It might be. The Raiders, at a minimum, I think you have more of a chance with yours because you feel like I have to jump Denver and Minnesota if JJ's still on the board. I have no choice. I have to jump Denver and Minnesota. I can't take that chance. I don't know if you feel that way if you're trading with Denver. Like if I'm Denver and JJ McCarthy's coming down the board, like unless I think Minnesota's in there. Now Minnesota taking him at 11 would make sense.
Baki said he had tweeted his mock draft. Can we see that? Or?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense at 11. But again, out of all the QBs that we talked about, you know what I'm saying? What is the purpose of me moving up? Like it's kind of like I was saying, like you got your cream of the crop, like those 3 guys that you talked about, yeah. And then it's like it's everybody else. So it's like, why am I thirsty to move up?
Baki went Caleb Williams 1, traded back with the Saints, traded them the 9th pick straight up, got 14, 45, and 170. Took Jared Verse 14, traded back the 2nd pick to the Steelers, got 51 and 98.
He got Justin Fields back. No,
right, Justin Fields is back, baby. Got Kieran Amagachi in the 2nd round. Got Brendan Rice in the 3rd round. Got Cooper Beebe in the 3rd round, or what we said was BB? Cooper Beebe in the 3rd round.
Like Beebe.
Bebe. Hey, Bebe. Change your name for branding purposes, dog. Come on now. That was easy. I came up with that on the fly. Ben Sinnott at the tight end from Kansas State at 122, and then took the safety from Maryland, Bew Braid. So
Brady.
Not a bad mock.
I think that's probably a reality that
that's a lot of trading back though.
Yeah, but it can happen. They did that last year where they traded a lot, but I could see that 9 going down a few spots to pick up a 2nd round pick makes a lot of sense.
I think what the part that's interesting to me about all the scenarios is that if he does a ton of trading back, cool. We got a bunch of bites at the apple. Half of these guys probably won't pan out, but at least half of them do. If he doesn't end up trading back, we heard Mina Kimes the other day on Waddle and Sylvie. She was like, listen, it's 4 rounds worth of players here, guys.
We just need
after that,
right?
You're finding your gems, but like you're not sitting here worried about your 5th and 6th rounders this year. There's 4 rounds of this draft that feel loaded, and then after that, you're kind of looking for scraps. I'm fine with.
You should get 2 to 3 starters, and then you got some depth.
Yeah.
And now maybe the Javon Foster pick, he might just be a depth person, but Cedric Van Pran, that's probably with the 2nd or 3rd rated tackle center in the game in the draft.
Probably 3rd rated center right now. He's falling a little bit.
I think you're not. You can develop him, and then you got the fact is that we got a bonus pick with Caleb Williams, but to get Jared Verse and say we get a tackle, and maybe at the 3rd round, you should get 2 starters, if not 3, from the 1st and 2nd rounds, and in the 3rd, you got a player that's a tweener, like he should develop hopefully into somebody. 4th round, if you get a gem, an Olin Kreutz, anyone out of the 4th round ends up becoming a great player. That's awesome.
If you get your starting center in the 3rd round, you're doing good.
You're doing real good. and we'll see how this. Now I'm trying to think. What has he drafted? Braxton Jones.
Offensive line wise?
Yeah, he drafted Jones.
Jatir Carter. He drafted Braxton Jones. He drafted Darnell Wright. He's drafted
Wright. Wright.
I feel like it's somebody I'm missing. Drafted.
Are we talking about this offensive line wise?
Yeah,
I think he's just
offensive
talking
line,
about
but
line.
the
He
highest
traded for Alex Leatherwood.
that didn't work out.
Yeah,
That did not work
yeah,
out. That man got here, played a game, and then caught mono. Like, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Are you catching these pirate diseases?
I mean, it would be like the way he's had success with the cornerbacks, but he's also picked kind of high with some of these cornerbacks, or high second round, third round, to start to see with these.
Doug Kramer, another one too.
The fact is, like, this is a deep draft for offensive linemen, so hopefully he's able to get one or two diamonds, in the late round.
I'm not gonna lie, and nobody wants to talk about this because we all love Ryan Poles, but I have to bring it up because it's the reality of the situation. I'm scared of any wide receiver he tried to draft after the first round.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you.
No,
It's in Poles we trust. It's in Poles we trust, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm scared of any wide receiver he tried to take after the first round. He ain't been up here in a minute. See, we ain't put him up here because he didn't show these cards.
Yeah.
You see, I had these cards.
But the Taj Washington, what's that dude? Let me see where he's at.
Taj Washington. I see, and
Solid name. I mean, that's Bud Means range to me.
I was talking about
Little
this
guy.
with Baki on Twitter.
Who's a little guy?
Taj, he's like 5'10", 4.
See?
he runs
Oh
a
yeah,
4.5.
Bud Taj is a little guy. I thought you said Bud Means is a little guy. I was like, Bud Means
No.
huge.
I was talking
the
about
hands
this
on
with
that
Baki the other day, bro. I really like Tyler Scott.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That's what. Hey, if I'm gonna take a chance on anybody, if I move up, here's the thing. I'm talking about moving up for MHJ. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved up for Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is that good of a receiver.
Yeah, he
I think we're solid at receiver. I don't.
Here's
know.
what I keep telling everybody. The
year.
Bears, and here's the one thing you also got to take into account. Then we got to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all for showing love. The one thing you also got to take into account is if they believe in the picks that they're making this year, and I think this is a loaded draft as far as pieces you can add to your team, you're still worried about picks next year. But when you answer some questions at the quarterback position, you draft very differently.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got picks figured out, when you've got the quarterback figured out, and hopefully we will have that, when you've got the offensive line for the most part figured out, when you got the receivers, you draft differently.
Yeah.
Like I may be sitting here in the first round fuming next year because he's like, there's a running back.
Well, no,
It's like, well, why'd you go get a running back? We didn't need that.
The team should be built. This team should be pretty much built this year. This is it. This is the third year. Now everything else is just an add-on. But you literally, based off just my mock draft, if you get Verse and get another
I
lineman,
got to be based off yours.
because I did my own math, so based off but in terms of fixing the offensive line and defensive line,
You said you did your own mock?
yeah, big mock, yeah.
Mocksturbation.
I didn't say that.
That's what that's called,
All
right?
right, all right.
Don't worry about it. I got it. I got it, boys. Yep.
Yeah.
I got it.
All right.
No,
It was worth it.
No challenge.
It was worth it. No challenge.
No.
Nobody's really challenged any pauses out here. I think we had Ringo challenge one.
Look, Baki, I don't want solid, Joel. I need receivers that's going to scare teams. Yeah, but if our quarterback is running for his life because he still can't get nobody to block for him,
Well, that's why I say, right, do you feel like all the things that you did this year on the offensive line are nothing moves?
Well, this is the thing. Haven't we gone over this? I told y'all, Junkers, nobody has won a Super Bowl where the receivers are like the dominant player. No one. None. Look it up.
Tyreek Hill?
No.
Oh,
Travis Kelce is the guy.
Tyreek Hill?
OBJ Cooper Cup?
Tyreek Hill?
Okay, let me rephrase that. As a top 10 pick.
Cooper Cup OBJ?
Okay, that's different.
All right, thank you. That's what I'm saying.
I was like, there's
Going
been a
all
lot
the
of
way
good
up.
receivers
Okay.
to win
Right.
Super Bowls.
No, of course the receivers have won, have been a balance on the team, but I have no top 10 or at least top 5. So we're talking a boy that's down there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but what are they coming to, Joe?
I'm just saying the numbers have showed that when you focus primarily on the receivers like that, it's all about being balanced.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't want receivers and I don't want to be able for us to throw the ball. I do. I want that. What I want is balance. Why I wanted a running back that's a third every down back, because you can't trick the defense if you're always putting in situational players. I just want a balanced team. And if it's unbalanced, and what happens is once you shut down those receivers, what ends up happening? You might end up with a dang near Detroit situation where they're just throwing the ball, and then they end up becoming one-dimensional. The defense is a good defense, but not a great defense. We have a potential to have a very good, if not a great defense.
But I think your difference is in this situation, you're normally right. Like Keyshawn Johnson went to the Jets.
He was number 1 overall.
The Jets were dog water,
but
he can't do anything there. Right? Like when you get these number 1 wide receivers,
right,
they usually go to teams that are garbage. When you talk about Jamar Chase going to Cincinnati, the reason he went to Cincinnati wasn't because Cincinnati was a bad football team. The reason he went to Cincinnati is because Joe Burrow's leg got snapped in half. Now, I would have said maybe trade back, go get Justin Herbert, add that offensive line, still get a good player, add some linemen. I'm just saying. But I think that the situation of that being said, top 10 wide receiver.
Drafted.
Yes.
Top 10.
Yeah. Who's the quarterback on the team?
Right. So
you don't have that problem here.
Like
you're bringing a wide receiver
off of a luxury that, okay, so you're expecting. I still see gaps on the offensive line. I still see gaps on the defensive line.
Sure.
So that's where my mind is focused. We traded a 4th round and got a 1,000-yard receiver in Keenan Allen. Because guess what? You might find you might get Brendan Rice as a guy that you bring on because he gets to learn from Keenan. And then you got next year because you got all of your picks. Even if you just trade one of the 2nd round picks just based off that one mock, right? You got all your picks for next year.
Yeah. I mean, even then too, I think we need to keep bringing this up. Like the Bears roster is like pretty much almost complete, and the concerns that Joel has, I'm pretty sure
they valid.
Like, that they're valid, and Eberflus is looking at it. Eberflus is definitely looking at it, but they're gonna do their due diligence. But whatever this dude decides to do at the end of the day, and when that draft's over, puts the Bears in the best position.
Well, and I think
look, like Brandon brought out Mike Evans and Godwin. The thing is
they weren't drafted number 1,
right? And
Tom Brady showed. Well, Mike Evans might have been.
He was.
Mike Evans.
He was.
He was the first round pick.
Mike Evans. I don't know if he was top 10,
top 5 or what have you. But my point is that it's about.
But Tom Brady showed up.
The defense also won that Super Bowl too. Brady, it was there. They also brought in Gronk. That defense was a monster.
Wasn't that? No, didn't they destroy?
That they killed. Then they beat.
Am I tweaking?
No,
they beat
the same team James had.
No. Am I tweaking though? Didn't Tom put up like massive numbers in the Super Bowl that year?
No, it was.
Was that a low scoring Super Bowl?
Oh no,
yeah,
that was you thinking of Patriots.
That
was when he threw for 500 yards.
Yeah, it was. Oh, maybe that is Patriots.
Yeah. No. He was just there for the ride. That was like a Peyton Manning type of deal. But I just think that
no, he was not there for the ride. That was a 5,000-yard season.
No, by the time that Super Bowl, it wasn't a high scoring game.
No, but he wasn't there for the ride.
What I'm getting at is that was a truly balanced squad.
Mike Evans 7th pick in the draft. So, but that changed.
Right.
Mike Evans went through a lot of bad teams to get to that.
Yeah. But my thing is they were a balanced squad. The defense was incredible. They had a running game. What was it? Fournette. Like they managed to pick up a lot of talent. They got Gronkowski. They brought in crazy Antonio.
Yeah, okay. Brown, so by the way, everybody's tweaking here. I knew I wasn't tripping. They put up 31 points in the Super Bowl. They destroyed the Chiefs.
Right. I said they beat the Chiefs. But Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady dominated in that Super Bowl.
What did he do?
I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm like, are we sure about this? Hold on. Let me pull up. See if I can find. That's not gonna be on here. Hold on. Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Tom Brady threw us 21 for 29, 3 touchdowns on the day. Leonard Fournette had a touchdown. Gronk
he had like 200 yards though.
200 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The defense was spotting them. It wasn't like he threw for 300 or 400 or 500 yards.
One or two things when Tom went crazy, that was
3 touchdowns.
That was Atlanta. That was the Atlanta Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's
Atlanta.
Yeah, that was the 28-3.
But he went to a really good squad that was already built.
But yeah, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns is crazy.
3 touchdowns crazy.
3 touchdowns. Yeah, but if you're starting at the 20-yard line or the 15-yard line because the defense is.
It don't matter.
3 touchdowns is crazy, dog.
I will take 3 touchdowns too.
Right,
When our quarterback got in there, he goofed it up. My point is that
How you gonna argue for it and then switch and then say, you know what?
If Rex Grossman had thrown 3 touchdowns, we'd be stop it.
That wasn't the argument. The argument
He
was,
nice.
Well, no, we said that the offense wasn't cooking in that Super Bowl. I said I think the offense was cooking
I
in
think
that
the
Super Bowl.
defense hooked them up. Is my point.
Yeah.
They had a dominating team, but the defense, they had running, they had a tight end, they had a receiver, they had a full squad. Tom Brady walked over to that spot, brought 2 of his friends, and they said, "Let's go win one, guys. Come on, boys. Let's go."
Oh, no, that defense kind of got cooked. Now I'm looking. They did not score a touchdown, though. So they stood up in that situation. But Kelsey had 133 yards, and Tyreek added another 73. I don't know, Joe. This argument's falling apart in your hands, bro.
No,
they did have 2 picks in that game. They had 2 interceptions.
My argument was that he went a balanced squad and won that team.
Yes.
And all I'm saying is, if we're drafting a receiver, it wasn't like it was all about Mike Evans. It was definitely spread around to a point. It helps having a Hall of Fame tight end.
Yeah.
It helps having a good running back, and you brought in another Pro Bowl receiver on top of that. So it's just nice to have an abundance of talent. But I don't want it to be that this is the focal point of our squad, is that we need all these receivers in here. And especially right now, because we're going to depend on a rookie quarterback to throw for dang near 4,500 yards.
Yes.
Which would be crazy.
Yes.
But hopefully, I just hope that we don't have like 30 touchdowns and 28 interceptions, that kind of thing.
I'll take what I can get.
I'll take what
I can get. I want to leave y'all on a question, and maybe we do this for tomorrow's episode when we got everybody in here. I asked this to Courtney Cronin. This was kind of like everybody calm down. But could this be something? If Caleb Williams throws in his first season here, because I'm telling you, we're not running. It's flying. Ball's out. If Caleb Williams throws for 4,000 yards, let's say he has like a Mitch season, right? 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the greatest quarterback in Chicago Bears history?
I'm with it.
Well, he's I mean, he's he'll be the Terrell Davis of running backs.
One season,
we just need to keep putting it together.
24 and 12 with 4,000 yards. Like,
the greatest quarterback in Chicago Bears history.
I guess.
Yo,
we've never seen that.
Yo, dog. 24 and 12, we see, right? Cuddy has some great touchdown to interception seasons. One. One.
He never even made the Pro Bowl.
Season.
Dog. 10 years he never made the Pro Bowl. That's crazy.
I'm just saying. It's crazy to say. It's that bad. A rookie can come in here day one and be the best quarterback in Chicago Bears history. Hey, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll have an update on the Tournament of Bad Bears QBs coming this Friday, so stay tuned with us for that. We'll be live on YouTube tomorrow for the War Room, ladies and gentlemen. We got the War Room. I don't know. It seemed right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. For the super producer, Joel Holt, and the man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J, Stephon the Don. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.
One love.
Peace.
One love.